Wide receiver Kayden Dixon-Wyatt just flipped his commitment from Ohio State, and he's going to sign with USC. And this is something that's been brewing for the past couple of weeks. Not necessarily that he was definitely going to end up at USC. It just kind of seemed to be trending that it wasn't going to be Ohio State where he ended up. But we're going to watch some senior year film here. This is a guy that I watched this offseason when he's committed to Ohio State. Really good football player. We'll see that. But in a little bit, we'll talk about what he's going to do for USC. I just kind of want to talk about the kind of football player that he is at first. And obviously at Mater Dei, I don't got to tell USC fans about Mater Dei. They know about Mater Dei receivers. Remember Amon-Ra St. Brown not too long ago. But they're playing a really tough schedule. I mean, even the players on Mater Dei, we're going to see Mark Bowman, another guy that's committed to USC, going to be a really good player for them. Chris Henry, the Ohio State commit as well. So a lot of talent across the field. And Kayden Dixon-Wyatt, 6'2", 180. I think this dude's best ability is to track the ball down the field. He's a really good athlete in a straight line, real explosive, real good route runner. I think he's really well-rounded. I just think that right away what you're going to get from Kayden Dixon-Wyatt is a guy that can take the top off the defense and a guy that you don't have to be super accurate to downfield, because we'll see the way that he can adjust the balls downfield. And at 6'2", he's a bigger target than some of these smaller like track type guys, but really like his ability to just bring in everything that gets thrown downfield. I saw that on the junior year film, and I thought that was the thing that was going to help Kayden Dixon-Wyatt see the field when he first got to the college level. I think watching the senior year film, you're seeing a guy that's a lot more well-rounded. You can take a look at this right here. The ball adjustment, the ability to adjust the ball downfield, really exciting. That's going to be the day one stuff with Kayden Dixon-Wyatt. But I do think you see the change of direction ability with him as well when he's running shorter routes, that the ability to get open, to separate at the next level. Really like his upside as just a receiver in general, really physical guy as well. I'm not sure if we'll see any blocking on this, but he's a guy that gets after it in the blocking game. And these balls downfield, these are low percentage throws because of those slot fades. Really tough throw to make, and I think it's a lot easier throwing to Kayden Dixon-Wyatt because you can kind of trust him to first find the ball. Tracking, it's only part of it. There's no point in tracking the football if you're not going to be able to actually bring it down. He has the flexibility and just the hand-body or the eye-body coordination to kind of move his body and kind of make these throws downfield. So talking about the kind of fit that he is in USC's offense, all those things I'm saying right now, does that remind you of anybody, a freshman for USC right now? Kind of reminds me of Tanook Hines. I think that's the kind of position that he's going to be playing for USC in the future, that Z position, which is really exciting because, you got Boobie Feaster already committed. That's going to be your slot receiver of the future, assuming Makai Lemon's in the NFL next season. I really like the way that USC just kind of stacks offensive weapons. And, they also have Mark Bowman committed, like I hinted at before. He's on the screen right now, I think. Another guy that plays for Mater Dei. That's another guy that's just a weapon. A lot of weapons in USC's 2026 commit class. Kind of reminds me of those a couple years ago. I think it was 2023. They had Jacoby Lane committed in the same class, signed in the same class. Jacoby Lane, Zachariah Branch, Deuce Robinson, Makai Lemon, all in the same class. So I think when you start just accumulating talent like this, you don't have to hit on every single one. They did hit on every single one, even though a lot of them, Zachariah Branch gave you a couple good years at USC, and Deuce Robinson obviously ends up going to Florida State, who's having a really good year. But you got a lot out of Jacoby Lane and Makai Lemon. I just think that USC does such a good job of just kind of stacking guys in individual classes, and you don't need to hit on every single one when you got all these kind of guys. And to me, I think Kayden Dixon-Wyatt's a guy with a very high floor. I really do. 6'2", 180. I like the frame, like I said before, and then that ability to stretch the ball, the field. I really think that he's kind of that Z position that you're getting from Tanook Hines right now. So, of course, it's good to have depth, and I also think it's a guy that you can kind of rotate in at that position and kind of give Tanook Hines a blow, because I really like his ability, Hines' ability to stretch the field as well. I'm not saying they're the same player. I just kind of think that they're similar position. That's what I see for Kayden Dixon-Wyatt. I'm curious to hear other USC fans, if you think he's close to anybody on the current roster. But really excited to see Kayden Dixon-Wyatt in 2026. I do think he's going to be a guy that rotates in the first season. It's just kind of tough in that receiver room. Like I said, they stack talent. It's kind of tough to see the field. If Kayden Dixon-Wyatt's a difference maker, or if he's a guy that sees the field in 2026, he's going to earn it, right? USC's in a position where they're going to play the best guys, the guys that work their asses off in the weight room in the offseason. So I think it's a really good position for USC to be in. And then Kayden Dixon-Wyatt as well, a guy that will get developed at USC. I feel good about USC's track record in developing receivers as well. But you guys let me know what you think about him. Thanks for watching.